So out of the Arasion sex members, there's three that I'd say are the most immediate intriguing. Like Zero, clearly. Gaia right now, I think from a visual standpoint is intriguing because he's like this weird centaur dinosaur. But also he wasn't like he's one of the only ones who hasn't been shown in terms of like directly telling us this magic and really giving us anything in this most recent chapter. But I think that he's going to be more of like the funny guy. We'll see. Because he just seems to like, if it's not Bird, then it's going to be him. But I think Bird is definitely a Wendy victim. But the one that I personally think is the wild card of the Arasion sex members, because I think Zero is very clear in where he's at. I think that the one that is the sleeper agent, not sleeper agent, I guess, sleeper danger, sleeper demon, no pun intended. I was going to say sleeper danger. I guess that kind of works. But sleeper demon in the group, the one that is like going to be terrifying that you don't expect is going to be Gate. Gate, to me, like his outfit, he gives off the presence of a character that that isn't supposed to be very scary. And then it's like we're getting comparisons of him being, having a similar feeling to that of Hades. And all of them, from what Faris said, is that they've all been touched by the abyss of black magic. But why is it that Gate is the one that's being used when being told this from Merida of specifically Hades? And to me, like, when you have that, you combine, like, he's the one that wasn't shown in the recent chapter of being like, this is my black magic and really getting a flex. And Merida, I feel like Merida is more capable than any of the Arasion Sace members, aside from probably Cobra. Like, maybe Midnight, but other than that, she's probably, like, if you told me she was the strongest out of them, because Cobra, I don't think Cobra's been doing stuff lately. But, like, she's definitely somewhere between 1 to 3. And it looks like Gate is completely styling on her, like, with zero problem whatsoever. So, like, right now, I think that just kind of adds on to it. And then his like, presence, too, in that chapter. He's just standing there, and he's got this glare that he's giving her. He just looks very, like, he wants to say he's disgusted of her. Like, he thinks she's pathetic. It's just this complete and total look of disapproval and an absolute remorse of being in the presence of what you're currently looking at. And he's somebody that, to me, I've been saying that a lot lately, he's somebody that to me just gives off the position of the one that you're not supposed to really think is going to be the really dangerous guy until you actually see him in action. Because if he was the one that was real silly and then move into that, it'd be one thing, because we have had that before. But he just seems somebody who's more of, like, real friendly. He's smiley. He'd probably, like, make, like, maybe a witty joke or something, like just a little pun at you. He's not real too serious. And then the second fighting starts, he just completely locks in like 180s and becomes this cold-eyed looking killer. I really want to know what his magic is, because I imagine that he's going to have something really weird and something that is just going to be, like, really hard to comprehend of fighting in most senses. Because when you see the other ones, you have, like, Black Sky Magic. We don't know all their abilities, obviously, right now, but it's like the first thing, it's like, okay, it makes it so you can't see, which is, it's a good opening ability, I would assume. And with Damon, she can melt stuff with their acid. They have stuff that is useful, but nothing kind of, like, really kind of crazy. So it's like, well, what was the reason for hyping him up without directly showing it? And on top of that, when you look at the panels, he was the last one that was shown before Faris ended up saying how they were all touched by the abyss of black magic. And he's just standing there with his arms behind his back, and he has this aura around him. He just looks almost like he's the devil come to, like, make a deal with you, or he works for the devil. So I have a lot of general hope in him right now. He has such a low-key just energy to him that I really like. He has this complete and total serial killer in silence presence that he's waiting to spring on you. It's a shame that we haven't gotten anything from him lately. We probably won't get anything in detail of him for, like, a little bit longer. But for right now, I personally think that Gate is going to be one of the more hype characters coming out of this. Because Zero, we already know Zero. It's not like Zero is somebody like fresh and he's just this cool wild man that's just been going crazy all of a sudden. Gate though, actually really fast. I'm pulling up the chapter 2 of when when Urza was dealing with the Aratheon sex, because Zero goes in first, Zero goes and attacks, and then you have I know Damon was going for a move. She goes for like gets herself ready, and it's Bird and Blade. Yeah, she rushes in. Gaia like says something, but he doesn't move. The only person out of all of them you don't see do anything in terms of addition to the fight with Urza is Gate. Because I was trying to remember, I forgot that Gaia did something. Gaia didn't rush in, but he yells. He does this little shout. Damon runs in. Bird and Blade run in. Zero runs in. Gate is the only one who just seems to not join in. And again, that to me, it's like intentionally small details with him. I feel all add up to give him a just something like, again, an extra. Like he's somebody, like he's intentionally being left out so you don't think about him. So when he's like suddenly I'm the strongest after Zero, and like he's got like this crazy magic where he's like, I can open gates that go to events in time, and I can summon calamities, and it's like he's like Tempesta on steroids, and he we eventually get like a historian. I'm trying to think of how cool this would be. We get like a historian. It's like going to the museum, and he tells like these. It's like the story of Pompeii, but in the fairy tale world. It's just a much bigger volcano, and he's like opens a portal and shoots like the eruption of volcano, or like some. This is an undersea lightning storm, and it's like, so, I don't know, something crazy. That it's just like, wow, that's insane. It's just all of him just opening these big gates. I'm just imagining Magnamon in reverse, where he's or Magnamon, sorry, Magna Angemon reverse, or just putting that big portal up and just opening it. But I guess he would just be wanting to launch attacks at people. I guess it'd be like Brian too, but on roids, because Brian, I would assume, has to eat him, but at what point and what time? But Gate, I'm assuming he right now. My belief is he is going to be a grave opponent, but that's going to be a little bit of a wait, because he's going to have a power that's going to be actually formidable with Gray as a Devil Slayer. That Gray's not just going to immediately be able to defeat him. But we'll see. I'm very much looking forward to the progression of how things go. This is maybe the next 2 or 3 chapters. Maybe next chapter we'll see him, but I don't imagine we would get too much of a resolve on him. But other than that, comment below. Tell me who out of them you think is your favorite and who you got the most placements on. I'm not counting Zero just because Zero's a returner. So out of the other 5 in the 6th, I'm definitely going Gate. But anyway, that's it sounded like you're going gay. What if that was actually his name? It was actually just it was very poorly translated, and his name was just gay. His name is but it's supposed to be for happy. He'd be the most powerful gay. Would he become a freed opponent? No, I don't think so. That'd be Mashima's thing at the end. He's like, guys, I think I fucked up here. I think I wrote this name wrong. I'm gonna get in trouble. But anyway, other than that, I'll talk to you guys later on the next one.